2023 Sagittarius full moon reaches its maximum phase at 8:42 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time on Saturday, the 3rd of June 2023 at 13 degrees 18 minutes Sagittarius. Though the energies are gradually dispersing across multiple signs, this 2023 Sagittarius full moon still has a good deal of Taurus energy present in its mix. As many of us were struggling with the evolution of our personal and societal values during the most recent Taurus new moon, those of us who resisted the changes then may now be feeling the consequences of that resistance, the weight of old baggage. It's likely that this baggage is emotional, but it could also be mental and/or spiritual, or possibly even all three. And for many people, mental, emotional, and/or spiritual baggage can also manifest itself in our physical bodies through illness or injury. Some people were able to release this baggage during the Taurus new moon a couple of weeks ago, and that probably should have been the case for most of us. However, humanity is stubborn, and as much as we may say we welcome and embrace change, in practice, we often resist it when it actually shows up. I noticed the continued resistance 2 weeks ago, which is why I'm addressing it again now. Because as eager as people are to move on to next or new, many are finding it difficult to do so. As a result, here we are now, with people getting frustrated because they're finding themselves unable to move forward in their lives, unable to continue moving along the way they always have in the past. That's because the world has changed, and they didn't, we didn't, you didn't want to face or deal with those changes then. Well, you may be finding yourself having to face those changes now under the 2023 Sagittarius full moon. And you may be frustrated because you feel you have too much on your plate, that you're too busy, that you're overwhelmed. But here's the thing. When you need more space to bring in new information and experiences, the first thing you get to do is purge the old stuff. That said, this 2023 Sagittarius full moon is helping us recognize where we're holding on to so much old stuff. It's holding us back from our growth and expansion. This full moon is showing us where and how our baggage is actually preventing us from taking flight and moving into new adventures and experiences in our lives. Using the word flight reminds me of an analogy I often use with my clients. Sometimes, trying to move on to a new chapter of our lives is like trying to board a plane with too many bags. You're at the gate, and the gate attendant says, "Sorry, but you have too many carry-ons. You can't bring all of this with you on the flight." You can argue with them all you want, but they'll likely tell you that you either need to check some of those bags and pay the extra baggage fees to do so, or you need to leave those bags behind forever. Or you could stay behind with your baggage and let your flight, and the next chapter of your life, leave without you. The choice is yours to make. And it's the choice in front of you in one or more areas of your life during this 2023 Sagittarius full moon. In all earnestness, if you haven't made the choice already, this 2023 Sagittarius full moon is, in many ways, your final boarding call and message to dump the excess baggage. In fact, you may need to dump more of your baggage than you might feel comfortable letting go of. If so, that's even better, because the more you let go, the bigger the change and growth you're about to experience. Sagittarius is mutable fire energy and represents growth, expansion, experience, and wisdom. It's the point at which you take everything you know in theory and apply it to the real world. As you apply your learnings to the world, you gain experience. And from that experience, you gain wisdom. That wisdom is what you bring back to share with others. The beauty in this is that you don't need to carry a lot of baggage with you. Everything you need to forge ahead is already within you. As we move forward through the energy of this 2023 Sagittarius full moon, we may individually and/or collectively discover that out in the world, what we thought we knew is confirmed to be factually true. But what's more likely to happen for many of us is that the light of the Gemini sun is exposing our fears and revealing that what we thought we knew The ideas and stories we've become emotionally invested in are not factually real or true. For some of us, the possibility of what we know being incomplete or incorrect is more terrifying for us than actually experiencing something new. This is where the 2023 Sagittarius full moon may find its biggest challenge, and it comes most strongly through the numerological energies of this day. This full moon is occurring under the energies of a 4 universal month and a 7 universal year. 7 universal years encourage us to be more thoughtful and analytical, considering all of the possibilities of various actions. 4 universal months tend to bring greater awareness of, and sometimes greater attachment to, what is and isn't stable, familiar, and/or comfortable in our lives. Together under a Gemini sun, these energies create conditions in which many people would rather stick with the stories in their heads, afraid to engage in first-hand experiences which could expand their minds and perceptions of others in the world. They'd rather remain in their bubbles where they believe they'll be safe and sound, no matter how far from safety and stability they may actually be. The 2023 Sagittarius full moon reaches its maximum phase on a 7 universal day in North America, Central America, parts of South America, and all points west of the Americas, affirming the thoughtful energy of the universal year, possibly to a point of severely overthinking really simple solutions. Maybe even to a point where stories or scenarios are being concocted out of air thick with fear and misinformation, rather than based on actual experience. Those of us in the Americas and points west may want to consider keeping our theories or stories to ourselves until they are confirmed through physical or experiential reality. However, the rest of the world will be experiencing this full moon under the energy of an 8 universal day of transformation, influence, and power, which will make this a powerful day to bring ideas and concepts into reality. Ideas and concepts which are so much bigger than what has been, they won't fit into the existing structures. A new foundation must be laid to accommodate the new that's coming in. The energy of this 2023 Sagittarius full moon will be felt from Wednesday, the 31st of May, through Tuesday, the 6th of June, 2023. During this week-long energy, take time to go through your mental, emotional, spiritual, and possibly even your physical and material baggage to figure out what it's time for you to let go of. What's keeping you stuck in a life or lifestyle you know you're ready to move on from? What's keeping you from moving on, forward, and/or upward in your life? Use the energy of this full moon phase to figure out the baggage that's keeping you at the gate. Then let the heaviest and most unnecessary junk go. Leave it behind. You can't take it with you. Stop trying to. Now more than ever, it's time for some spring cleaning, to lighten your load, to make space in your mind and heart, to truly heal and reclaim your wings, and to take flight in your life to grow beyond who and/or what you believed possible for yourself to be. Final call for boarding.